Have you ever wondered what it really takes to change a deeply held belief? Not just to see another point of view, but to completely transform your entire worldview? Well, we're about to dive into an ancient story that tackles that very question. It's about a powerful king so set in his ways that it took a series of miracles to get him to even listen.
And that really is the core question we're looking at today. What could possibly be so powerful that it makes a king, a person with literally all the power in the world, just abandon everything he's ever believed? Let's get into it.
Okay, so our story starts a long, long time ago, in a past so distant it feels almost like a fairy tale. And at the heart of it, we've got a royal family, but they are deeply, deeply divided over what they believe to be true.
We're talking about an era called Joyful Sights. And the Buddha of this time has this incredible, poetic name, Cloud, Thunder, Sound, Star, King, Flower, Wisdom. And it's his teachings that are about to shake everything up. So here's our cast of characters, and you can see the conflict right away. You've got King Wonderful Adornment, who is all in on the traditional Brahmanical faith. But then you have his wife, Queen Pure Virtue, and their two sons, Pure Treasury and Pure Eyes. They've totally embraced the Buddha's new teachings. So there's this huge split right down the middle of the royal family. The queen and her sons are following the bodhisattva path, this journey toward enlightenment to help everyone. But the king, he's completely entrenched in the old ways, a system his family sees as, well, wrong. They're at a total spiritual impasse. The queen, she knew her husband. She knew that just talking to him wasn't going to cut it. So she tells her sons they need to do something so extraordinary that it would completely shatter his skepticism and force his mind open. And you can just feel the weight on their shoulders here, can't you? They see themselves as sons of the Dharma king, like spiritual heirs to the Buddha. But they were born into a house led by a father they think is completely lost. For them, this isn't just a family disagreement. It's their duty to step in. So what they do next is it's pure spectacle. I mean, try to imagine seeing this. The two princes just float up into the air. They start walking, sitting, lying down like the sky is solid ground. Then fire shoots out of the top of their bodies while water pours from their feet, and then they switch it. They grow so big they fill the whole sky, and then poof, they vanish and reappear on the ground. This wasn't just a trick. It was a performance designed to be absolutely undeniable. And here's the part that tells you everything. The king's reaction. He isn't scared. He's not angry. He's overjoyed. The whole spectacle didn't threaten him. It woke him up. And his very first question gets right to the point. Not, how did you do that, but who is your teacher? So it worked. The princes broke through. The king's mind is now wide open. And he agrees to meet the person who could teach his son such incredible things, the Buddha himself. And let me tell you, this was not some quiet little family trip. The king made this a huge deal. He brought his entire court, all his ministers, all his attendants. This was a public statement of his new curiosity and respect. The second the king hears the Buddha's teachings, he's totally captivated. He and the queen offer this incredibly valuable pearl necklace, and as they toss it into the air, it miraculously turns into this beautiful, four-pillared jeweled platform with a vision of the Buddha sitting on it, just glowing. And in that moment, the Buddha makes this stunning prophecy. He declares that King Wonderful Adornment won't just become a follower, he'll eventually become a Buddha himself in a future life, with the name Saltree King. This was way more than just a conversion. It was the reveal of his ultimate destiny. Now, for the king, this wasn't some intellectual exercise or a passing phase. His transformation was absolute. It led him to completely renounce the life he had always known. And he didn't hesitate for a second. Right then and there, he handed the entire kingdom over to his younger brother. He, the queen, and his sons all gave up their royal lives to become monks and follow the Buddha. And his dedication, wow, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. The text says that for 84,000 years, this former king just threw himself into practicing the very teachings he had once completely rejected. So after all those thousands of years of practice, the former king has this moment of profound insights, and with that sudden clarity comes the story's final, brilliant twist. With this new understanding, he rises into the air and tells the Buddha his realization. He sees it all clearly now. His sons weren't just his children.
They were his good friends, spiritual guides who had chosen to be born into his family for one reason and one reason only, to lead him to this exact moment. And then comes the mic drop. The Buddha who's telling this whole story turns to the crowd listening to him and basically says, "You know that ancient royal family I just told you about? Well, they're sitting right here with you right now. The old king is now the Bodhisattva flower virtue, the queen is Bodhisattva light shining, and those two princes who started it all, they're now the great Bodhisattvas, medicine king and medicine superior."
So, what is the point of this massive, epic story that spans lifetimes and eons? It all comes down to one incredibly powerful concept that the Buddha really wanted everyone to get. The Buddha explains that the princes were acting as what's called a Kalyana Mitra, or a good friend. Now, this isn't just a buddy you hang out with. This is a person who comes into your life to be the major cause, the catalyst for your own spiritual awakening.
And that's the core message of the whole thing, straight from the Buddha. The single most important thing for spiritual transformation is having a good friend, a guide, who can create the right conditions and show you the way to unlocking your own potential. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The king needed his sons to light up the path for him. It really makes you wonder, who are the good friends in your own life? Who are the people that have shown you a way forward when you couldn't see it for yourself?